Howdy. All right, it's bass lesson time. Okay, this is for bass players that are advanced packet 2. We are up to lesson 9, which is very easy. I will do that, and also the next page. It will go pretty quick. And you also may already know this from other songs. The new, time for my glasses. The new concept is, as you can tell, 16th notes. 8th notes had 1 beam, and there were 2 in a beat, 1 and. Every time you add a beam, you double everything, and you go twice as fast. So 2 beams, instead of being called 8th notes, they're called 16th notes. Instead of having 2 per beat, there's 4 per beat, which is why they're grouped in beam with 4. So double time. The way you count them is easy. The first one is always the beat, 1. Then you have 2. The next one this third one matches up with the 8th note, and then they call the other ones E and A. And together it's 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Easy to say, so it's not too bad. That's all there is to it. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. The trick on the bass is to do it right. It's a bowing thing. Just as with everything else, the faster you go, especially on the bass, the shorter bows. So I'm backing way up so you can see my bow. Here we go. Look. Tiny, tiny bows. 1 E. Again, if you use giant bows, arm's gonna fall off. Okay, that's it. 16th notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So now we're gonna play number 1, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and 2 and 3, rest. This makes quarter notes feel really slow. So when you see them, don't play them fast anymore. You gotta really break it down. Okay, here we go. Number 1. 1, 2, 3, and ready, and 1, 2, 1 E and yep, and that's it. Just dig in so you get those good sounds. Number 2, piece of cake. On the A string, you have 2 sharps, so it will be C sharp when you get to it. 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2. That's the rhythm. You just have to watch your notes, okay? Check it out. It's all on the A string. I'm going to play it. Play along. Here we go. 1 E and a 2. Ready, and. Okay, keep an eye on your notes. Don't be fooled. This one, number 3, also gives you the 16th rest. And if you recall, the 8th rest looked like a little tiny 7. Remember that guy right there? Okay. The 16th rest looks like a little tiny 7 with the extra little thingy-bob. I don't know what to call it. It matches up with the beam. So this 8th rest had 1 little thingy-bob, and the 16th note has 2 bars, so it has 2 little guys. So just the is silent. 1 E and the last is silent. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, okay? And in this one, you shift, and I wrote it in just because I would need it. If you look at the beginning, there's B flat in the key signature, which means when you get to this one right here, you got to shift up, but only to B flat, which makes your C natural 4th finger, then back to B flat, which I didn't write the 1 in, but if you want to, go ahead. And then you shift back where that 1 is for the A, okay? So no sharps and B flat. Just remembering not to overshift is the hardest part of this one, okay? Here we go. 1 E and, 2 E and, ready, and. rest is very small. So, I mean, you hear it, but you got to make sure you do it. That's all there is to it. Okay. Then number 4, it's just a bunch of 16th notes all in a row. It's like a little tiny scale. There's based on the F sharp in the key signature, but no C sharp. The trick to playing this fast and right is to know that there's no 4th finger. It's all 2nd finger. So when in doubt, use your 2nd. 1 E and a 2, and ready and a go, and. And I didn't mention it just now, but it shows you how to retake your bow and do the down bows, which you ought to be just doing automatically when you see it. So if you didn't just do it, repeat it and fix your bowing. Yeah, it's just like I'm there with you. All right. Song of the week is Frere Jacques, which is super easy. There's a couple of bow retakes, and I don't know, it's really, really easy, okay? And if you want, start up this playing of it, and then you come in on the 2nd round, and I'll go first, and you go 2nd, and we can do it in a round. So here I go. 1 and 2, and 1 E and a ready, go. Makes the 8th note seem really, really slow. Okay, so this is a piece of cake. If you have any trouble, let me know. Flip to the next page. Whoa. All right, it's one of my all-time favorites. Basic Boogie. You may or may not have already done this. Okay, first of all, bows down. Second of all, looks much more complicated than it is. There's one new thing you need to know. And then you're ready to play it. First of all, this is the blues. All bass players should know how to play the blues, and this is how you get started, okay? This is the blues that I played for you on the bass when you were in 2nd grade at Brat, and I was trying to show you that if you wanted to play the bass. So now you could demonstrate also. All right, couple major things. First of all, we're only playing the first A line and the second A line. We are not worrying about the bottom, and we're not even worrying about the rest of it because it just repeats the same thing. So you're going to learn this line and that line, okay? Next, you need to remember no sharps, okay? So don't play any sharps. Then you need to remember, new thing, this little guy right here that looks kind of like a % sign means whenever you see it, repeat the previous measure. So what you're going to see in your music as it gets bigger and longer and more complicated is if they want you to play something for 15 measures, if they don't want to write it all out like they did in Raindrop Serenade, they're just going to put that little % sign, and you see it right here, okay? So basically you play the first measure, and then you play the first measure, same thing again. So you play this twice, okay? Then you go on to this, and then you go on to the second line where it's just written out, okay? And that's it. We will also play a pizzicato because that's how it's fun to play the blues. And we're going to play it really slowly. We're going to go 1 E and, oh, my bad. 1 E and 2 E and And I'll show you because you're going to go. And the notes for the blues are always the same combo of notes. G, B, D, E, F, E, D, B, G, B, D, E, F, E, D, B. Then you go to the next part. C, E, G, A, B flat, A, G, F. Then you go to the first one again. Second line. G, B, D, E, F, E. And then you just follow. So it's the same thing. This part that you're going to be like, oh, it's a little tricky. It repeats, and then it repeats again. So when you see it, don't panic. Just once your fingers learn it, you're good to go. Okay? And I'm going to do it really slow. Because the blues can go all different speeds, so why not make it easy and go really slow to start? Here we go. Move closer because I'm pitzing now. You don't need to see my bow. Here we go. Here's the blues. 1 E and 2 E and that's the blues. Well, you heard it. So yeah, if it brings you right back to second grade, that's what I was playing. You can, and if you notice, I just played each note, but I played it really slow. So if you count that in 16 notes, 1 E and 2 E and you can do a really slow blues. Okay, doesn't matter. Still sounds cool. Learn any way you like it. You can, once you get good at it, you can play a really fast blues. Okay, awesome. All right, that's those 2 pages. They're going to be a piece of cake, and the blues, I swear, it's one of my favorites. Okay, good luck. Please let me know how it's going. Photos and videos, always welcome. Bye.